Today, on Be Something Wonderful, when the opposite appears while you're feeling that your wish is fulfilled. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Welcome back, creators. I received an email late yesterday afternoon from a new subscriber. It said, Tom, I've been imagining my wish fulfilled. I've been feeling it. And really what I'm trying to manifest is my ideal position, my ideal career, my ideal job. And I've been really feeling it, but then the opposites started coming up, meaning I've got offers, but it was nothing like I'm imagining. One of them was a little bit closer to my dream job, but at much less the money that I'm wanting, because I want both an increase economically and my dream job. This one looked like it was on the path to my dream job, or at least closer to it, but at much less money. And the other one had nothing to do with what I really want to do, but it was more money. And so then as more negative things started happening, I just took the job with more money. And my question is that example of following the path of least resistance? Will I still get what I want? I'm just confused because I've been imagining my wish fulfilled, but it just feels like I'm getting the opposite. Well, guys, we're going to unpack this today and more. So after I received this, I was going to sit down, get a cup of coffee, and start working on a response, and even maybe creating a lesson around it. But as I was doing, I go, how can I give this person the message that everything's always working out without it sounding like blah, 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 right? Yeah, everything. Yeah, don't resist anything. Follow the path of least resistance. Never give up on your desire. How do I give the example? How do I really hit it home that this is how it works? And then just as I was saying that, a friend texted me and said, hey, Tom, a very close friend for years. And she said, hey, why don't we do dinner in San Clemente? San Clemente is about 30 minutes north of San Diego. And I said, you know what? That sounds like a great idea. And we agreed at 7. So then I just put this aside for now. I go, I'll get back to this, right? And then we go, well, and then I started looking at the restaurants, and the restaurant that we like to go, that's a really cool place, was full. There were nothing available until 9 o'clock. We wanted to do it at 7. And so I looked at another one that looked like not this place, not as good as this place, but it looked okay. And I booked it there. And then she goes, why don't we try to go to that place and just try to get a seat at the bar and wait. And then I thought, and after I booked this other reservation, I thought, you're right? So I canceled that reservation and said, that's a great idea. I'll see you at 7. So this is a good first step. I was unconscious for a moment, right? Unconsciously accepting less than what I wanted, accepting less than my desire. My good friend, she's a great conscious creator. She did not. She said, why don't we just go there, right? So then as I got in my car, that's what I envisioned. I envisioned the perfect seats at the bar and then a table being ready shortly after. That's what I imagined all the way. And then as I got in my car, I set my GPS for the restaurant in San Clemente. But I know how to get there. It's a straight shot. It's right off the exit. Why would I set my GPS? I know where I'm going, but I set it anyway. Why? The GPS in your car many times leads you to the path, to the shortest route, to the path of least resistance. And last night, it worked perfectly 3 times. It came up and said, there's an alternative route. Do you want to take it? You can cut off 3 minutes. And at first I looked where it wanted me to exit, and it looked worse. And I thought, no way, that even looks worse to me. But knowing that the GPS is leading me there, I took it anyway. I followed it. And sure enough, as I got off the exit, it felt worse. But then there was an opening. clearly, and it's leading me to this opening. And then as I kept going, there it is again, second time. Do you want to take this alternative route? Again, leading me on the path of least resistance. Each time the other path looked worse, but it wasn't. The third time, it actually opened up. And I arrived shortly after. My friend arrived who sent me a text message while I was pulling in to saying I got a seat, a perfect seat at the bar. And I put our name in for a table. So I arrived at the perfect time, got in there as we started the chat, ordered the drink, started catching up, and then boom, the table's ready. Tables that weren't going to be ready, not another available table, according to Open Table, until 9 o'clock. That's powerful. That's what we're talking about here. Let's unpack this now with your example. So remember this diagram of the infinite number of lifelines. I want to go back to this because this is perfect. Here you are, lighting up your future job, lighting up your dream job, right? And then as you light up your dream job, you're feeling wish fulfilled, but then events happen that you judge as negative. Hear this, it's your judgment. It feels like the opposite of what you want to happen. This is big, right? So you have a couple choices, right? You're getting a couple things. You're getting the opposite that you think is the opposite of what you want. For sure, the job that's not your dream job, even if it's more money, that's not what you want. It's like me saying, forget it, let's just make a reservation at a restaurant that's available, right? Settling, as opposed to the other offer that is closer to your dream job, is on your path, but it's for less money. You're viewing that as negative. You're trying to determine what the best chain of events are, as opposed to leaving the chain of events to infinity to figure out for you. It's like me in my car not following that GPS. I would have never arrived just a few minutes after, right? Hear this, I followed that. And so there you are, right? Here you are. Now, say you chose either position, right? Let's say that this is the one that's not your dream job and for less money. Now, events are going to keep happening and it's going to lead. Now you're going to have it, even though see where the frame is? It feels like a setback, but there are no setbacks. You're shifting lifelines. So if you choose that job that's on the path of your dream job and you're still unhappy about it, hear this, because it's less money, then you will move to a lifeline that's worse. You see this? There you are. Right? And you will feel setback. But here, you're never set back. You're following the path of least resistance. This leads to your desire. It leads to your dream job. If you accept something less, then you end up here. You end up on a lifeline that you never wanted. Do you hear this, guys? This is perfect. Let's unpack this a little bit more. Remember, when you compose your ideal reality, or in other words, imagine your wish fulfilled, you are illuminating the future frame, intending your desired end. Judge no events. It's not your job to determine what the best chain of events are that lead to your desire. That's the job of God. That's the job of infinity to lead you there, right? That was the job of my GPS system, not me to refuse it, right? So even though I knew, or I thought I knew where I was going, hear this, right? So I had my end in mind. I put in the destination, right? The restaurant that I wanted to go to. I put that in. That was my job. Now it's God's job, infinity's job, to get me there on the path of least resistance, even if I think that it looks negative or it looks opposite to where I want to go or it looks worse. Do you hear this, right? You're not determining the chain of events that lead you to your wish fulfilled, right? I know it feels like you're going backwards or it feels like a setback, but it's actually not. You're on a new lifeline. And remember, when you shift lifelines, what feels like the opposite, what feels like negative, is your old life clearing out. You're shifting to a new lifeline. So never judge that negative, never judge those opposites. As long as you're feeling your wish fulfilled, as long as you're illuminating, lighting up your future, lighting up that future of slide, then you can't get it wrong. Then you can't, then that negative, what you're perceiving as negative is leading you to what you want. It just looks negative as you change lifelines. Hear this. This is big. What can appear as opposites or unwanted is the clearing out of your old reality as you are led on the path of wish fulfilled, right? As you're led on the path of least resistance towards your wish fulfilled, as you move lifelines. That's big, guys. That's a big opening today. Let's unpack this a little bit more. Keep your GPS on, right? That higher guidance, right? That inner being, that God within you. Keep it on when you have even when you have imagined your end, right? Even though I knew where this restaurant is, I've been there before several times. I didn't need my GPS to get there, but I kept it on because I know that it can vet the best route, right? Avoiding the traffic jams, avoiding the accidents, right? Have you ever, so even when you have imagined your end and illuminated your future frame, I was illuminating it. I put in the destination. I was already imagining, right? The table opening up, the bar seats, right? It was all there. In other words, even when you believe and know where you're going, I knew where I was going, but I didn't, but again, I would have been very late. Right? So some frames may appear to be unwanted, negative, or worse, as you are being moved towards your wish fulfilled, as you are moving lifelines. That can happen. That can appear to be so. But if you rest in the fulfillment, rest in your conviction, rest in the claim, rest in your assumption that it's yours, it must. 3D reality must yield to that. It has no choice. Right? As you change lifelines and clear out the old. Right? You move to your wish fulfilled, you change lifelines, and you clear out the old. It's not about resisting or controlling the script. Remember, this is what we talked about, right? Here, you start resisting the current frame. You start resisting the script. It's not about resisting the script. Why? Because that's leading you to your ideal job, to your dream job with the amount of money you want, everything you want. If you don't resist, if you resist, you end up here. Right? And a job you don't want and a lifeline you don't want, right? Consider that this could even be another lifeline, right? But here you do move to what you want, and then you keep moving to what you want, right? That's big. So it's not about resisting or controlling the script. Remember, the script is written. What you can do is choose your lifeline. Choose the film roll. You choose the film roll by lighting up the future slide, by imagining your end. Right? Choose the film roll, the lifeline, or film roll that comes with a script that moves you closer to what you want. It comes with the script that you want, right? You can't determine or decide what the specific script or chain of events will look like. Hear this. Judge nothing. Consciously follow the script. Why? Because you're trying to determine what the script will look like. You can determine your wish fulfilled in the end. But in terms of the chain of events or the script itself, that comes with the lifeline. That comes with the film roll that you choose. You can't determine how you get there. You can determine the end game. And then you follow the script, right? So you're trying to determine the specifics of the script, of the film roll that you choose. You can't. The script's written, right? But you can choose the film roll. This is big today. So when you choose a new film roll by illuminating your desired future frame, you select a new script in motion, right? So you select a new script, right? You're moving towards it, right? You only control the future frame. Your imagined end or film roll or lifeline chooses itself. Hear this. So you choose your future frame. You imagine your wish fulfilled, right? You illuminate that, your imagined end. And then the film roll or lifeline actually just chooses itself, right? With the script that's going to lead you to what you want based on that specific illuminated frame. So you're choosing it by illuminating your frame, but it's really it choosing itself. But you are that, right? It's all connected, right? This is where the bridge of incidents, where Neville Goddard talks about the bridge of incidents. Like following your GPS in your car, you set the destination, like I did last night. Illuminate your future frame. Imagine the end. I was imagining the seats at the bar and then getting a table shortly afterwards. And then you will shift and move to one film roll in Lifeline to another. So one after another, just like I was, right? I can cut off 5 minutes here, 3 minutes here. Tom, take this 3 times, right? I went from one lifeline. I was changing lifelines. I went to one lifeline, to another film roll, to another, to finally my destination at the perfect time, the perfect seat at the bar, and the perfect table. That's what you're going to do to get that dream job. That is why the opposite appears while you're feeling that your wish is fulfilled. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, like and share our videos. That's how we get our message out. Follow us on Facebook at Be Something Wonderful, on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Karen. Share our channel with your friends, with your family, with others. That's how we grow. You can write me anytime at info@besomethingwonderful.com. Until next time, with great love, great light, see you soon.